Very welcome back. Now, she is known for her true crime reporting for stories on gangland murders and drug barons in Ireland. Excuse me. But her recent book, I'll Never See You Again, is about a single mother of one who has been recently promoted as a detective. She then comes under scrutiny from her male colleagues when she suggests a link to a chain of brutal killings. With us this morning to talk about her new novel is crime reporter for the Sunday World, Niamh O'Connor. Niamh, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well indeed. We're just saying that your new book is a departure for you, but was always the plan to begin with. But before we get stuck into the book, can we talk about the happenings in the world of crime and drug wars and all the rest of it recently? There was the huge funeral last week, which I just found, looking at the photos of it, really distasteful. There seemed to be a real swagger to these guys wandering around thinking, you know, we're fantastic, you know, we're criminals and we're out and about and doing all the rest of it. Was that just me, or...?
No, you're absolutely right. Any ordinary, decent, sort of right-minded person will see it for what it is, which is horrifying that, you know, they can get off on this kind of idea of being a gangster, but they're inadequate, and so that's what turns them on, you know. So, and does
Dunn's death change the landscape in any way, or is it just a shuffling of the deck? Does someone else just step up?
Absolutely, somebody worse, because somebody obviously inside has been made sure that he wasn't wearing his shirt, his bulletproof shirt that night, you know. So.
Somebody made sure he wasn't wearing
it? Well, no, that is obviously speculation, but I mean, if you think of a man who was...
the case?
Well, if you think of somebody who would have lived the way he did, I mean, he'd ordered his own coffin, he had made preparations for his own funeral, he was living under the threat of death, he knew he was a marked man, he went out that night without his bulletproof shirt on, so somebody obviously inside betrayed him, you know.
So this doesn't change anything. We just get another generation of even more severe violence, really?
Absolutely, and it's just getting worse. And if you think of how ill-equipped we are to deal with these people, I mean, if even in Dunn's case in 2002, a man was found in the boot of his car, and by 2010 he still hadn't been, you know, brought to book for that crime, because he knew that by constantly stalling and delaying the system, he knew exactly how to play the system. Yeah. He changed his plea and so on, then said he didn't know what he was pleading to. So, I mean, that's what we're up against, you know.
So is the answer that the system needs to be changed? Like, if they know how to play the system, so how does the system need to be changed?
Well, we need non-jury trials, obviously. We have this special criminal courts in place. We need to start putting them in there and trying them in there. And he would have been the first guy, you know, if he had lived. But I mean, live by the sword, die by the sword. And it's very hard to have sympathy in these cases. And actually, the book was an outlet for, you know, a feeling of good riddance every time one of these gangsters gets knocked off, you know. And that was something that I wasn't comfortable with, you know, as a journalist. But at the same time, I mean, how are you supposed to have sympathy for somebody who oversees 15 murders in the space of 5 years?
That is interesting. So you yourself had difficulty dealing with that attitude of, sure, what does one of them dying matter? We do seem to have that attitude.
We do. Yeah. But unfortunately we have the Shane Gagans and the Anthony Campbells and the innocents who die in the crossfire, because these psychopaths don't care, you know, about people trying to just have ordinary, decent, good living lives. So
tell us more about the book then. So the book was an outlet for that confusion of emotions that you had?
Absolutely, that was exactly it. I just started thinking, what if somebody went about removing society's worst, you know, and why, you know, so that's how it started. But with a novel, you have to keep twisting, and you know, you can't actually stick to sort of a straight line.
And the protagonist is a woman. She's not just a woman; she's a single mother as well.
Yeah, separated mother. Yeah.
And did you choose to make your protagonist female because you're a woman, or because?
Yeah. Well, I read a lot of crime fiction. I just got very tired of kind of these American kind of James Bondy characters who can go through life without, with a toothbrush in their back pocket. I needed, you know,
reality.
A woman, yes, who can't get kind of the washing out of the washing machine quick enough before it needs to be rewashed, you know, who's trying to work, who's trying to support her kids, who's trying to basically live, but who's brilliant at her job and shouldn't be judged because she is a mother. You know, so there's all these kind of issues that I wanted to deal with.
Do you think it is tough being, you're a woman in a male-dominated arena, whether it's from a reporting perspective or a crime-committing perspective? There aren't many women in your field. Is it difficult being a woman in that business?
It's difficult trying to keep a house clean and running smoothly.
To do woman stuff.
The job isn't difficult, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And for your character, can Give us a bit more. I know you don't want to give the whole thing away, but
Yeah.
tell us a bit more about her and what actually happens to her.
Well, her name is Jo Birmingham, and she's very feisty and she's very spiky, and she's easily irritated, but she just understands crime and killers, and it all goes back to a secret that she's harbouring in her own past.
Oh, I see. And do you think the fact that you said that you felt conflicting emotions when a gangster passed away and the attitude in the office was, sure, there's another one gone, do you think that's specifically a female response? Like, would male colleagues feel conflicted in any way?
I think there is a feeling of good riddance, you know. We need, you know, to be able, for this society to run smoothly, to have the cancer removed from it, you know what I mean? And if they want to kill each other, fine, but unfortunately it's not that simple, because there are so many innocents in the crossfire. And
from the book's perspective, are you putting forward a moral question of what's so wrong about doing that? Is the question, you know, what is wrong with removing a cancer from society? Is it the right thing to do? You know, kind of two wrongs making a right, vigilante, etc., etc.
Well, it takes a crime, a single crime, which is so awful that you have to ask yourself, because it's a crime against a little girl, which has left her so traumatised that she can no longer speak. And the little girl is the daughter of a crime reporter, and it is an attempt by gangland to intimidate a crime reporter to stop reporting about crime, which is something you could see happening if you think of some of the things that have happened in this country.
If you look at what they've done to jury members and so on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look at Veronica Guerin, and you know, bombs have been put under reporters' cars and so on. Our own Marty O'Hagan in the Sunday World was murdered. So, you know, it's not beyond imagination.
Has anyone ever tried to intimidate you, Niamh?
There's been intimidation, but nothing, you know. I mean, it's not something I...
Does it not scare you, though?
It's not something I think about, you know.
Yeah, you just put it to one side and carry on and do your job.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, the book is coming out?
The book is out since Thursday.
It's out since Thursday.
Yes.
Comes out on Thursday?
No, it was.
It was out last Thursday. Okay, available in all good bookshops.
Absolutely.
And it's titled?
If I Never See You Again.
If I Never See You Again. Yeah. And as you said, there are many twists and turns to a very exciting end.
Thank you. Yes.
Niamh, thank you very much.
Thanks,
pleasure.
Niamh.
We wish you very, very well with the book.
Cheers.
I'm sure it'll be hugely successful. All of your other books have been great. This is a departure, but I'd say it's all the better for it. Niamh, thank you very much.
Thanks a million.